was not a valid defense. So now we're here and they're telling these guys, you don't have to do this. I'm going, what the hell kind of a mixed message is that? Now, the video, and I've seen it, you've seen it, we've listened to it, it really is it's a slap at Donald Trump. That's really what it's intended to be. But these people, what have you read? And then worse yet, they're critics. What have you read? What have you witnessed? What have you watched these? And I went to the Nuremberg courtroom. And by the way, it's very small. I thought it'd be much bigger. And because of being a little geek reader that I am, I knew. I said, well, that's where Goering sat. You know, and you could see where Albert Speer sat right there. I mean, they're like pews almost. And they're still there. But that was the trial. And it went on for, I think, well over a year. And they came up with that they began with a premise. And I've read all this junk once before, but they said that military orders were presumed to be lawful and that the burden would fall on service members, or CIA, I guess, to establish that an order is manifestly unlawful. Okay, fine. But when they attempted that, and they said, I was just following orders, the tribunal said, no, you weren't. And so, when I watched this video with Jason Crow and the Gang of Four, I'm thinking to myself, what have they followed? And better yet, what's talk radio followed? There's precedence here. Yamashita, I think it was, is how he pronounced it. Yamashita and was on trial in 1946. Nuremberg was 45, 46. Cali, I don't know, I forget what years the My Lai trials were. But the military obedience, and by the way, suppose you're on a job. You know, you're a civilian, and your boss orders you to do something financially crooked, or any number of different things. Pour out that oil. Pour it down the sewer. A crime like that. You go, no, I'm not going to do that. And so when we watch this stuff, and I thought it was just fascinating. I don't do talk radio that much anymore, but the Nuremberg principles for, the history geeks in the audience are a set of guidelines for determining what constitutes a war crime. And the document was created by the International Law Commission that was codifying all of these legal principles underlying the Nuremberg trials, and which were not principally, 100% the trials of the Nazi Party members following the Second World War. And the group of defendants at the Nuremberg trials, the Nuremberg principles were established. Please, if you're going to do the gig, do the gig. But I look at this stuff and I think, man, what's that? So, and then bringing this great sadness that's come into this country and having people actually not understand what Bush and Cheney did, and they bring this guy here. And he's been in this country for how long? Pushing 5 years. And he comes across the country and shoots these. It was unbelievable to shoot those two kids. Why? And that is unintended consequence. Now, George Bush is on that ranch in Texas, and Dick Cheney's lying in a cold, cold grave. But I wonder if Bush thinks to himself, I got a hunk of that. These two dead kids, or one dead kid and one kid hanging on to his life, I got a hunk of that. You think he thinks it? No, I don't either. Adam just said no. Of course he doesn't. To defend him and defend Cheney and defend what they did, and I don't know. And Donald Trump won't even go deep enough to go after, and he has no love in his heart for Trump or Cheney, and he hung it on Joe Biden. Those deals were cut, and Joe Biden was Joe Biden. But they came to this country, and they did what they did. So when I look at all of this stuff, and I suspect many of you share that, and maybe it does begin for guys as old as me with that day in Dealey Plaza. when they killed this man, Jack Kennedy. And then they begin to really lie. And they have lied nonstop since. They lied about Southeast Asia. They lied about the whole Middle East is a great lie. All of the lies that this country has told me and told you, told my kids. And it just angers me. And now these two kids, this one young woman, brave young woman's dead because of their lies. And when is everybody going to get hip to it? All right, it is your turn. 303-696-1971. It's wide open lines. We're going to do an open line show. Back tomorrow at 9 o'clock. We got this book coming on tomorrow about a family of spies. The Toy Run is on December the 7th, and we'll talk more about that. But do you see these things strung together? And I wrote this down on a worksheet, and I think it really is. It's what is the, and again, asking yourself this question, what's the significance of the JFK assassination? And we start there. A social impact, a cultural impact, the things that go with it. And what do you think of what we have just witnessed with these two brave young kids? One's now gone. And that's really it. It's just, I can't grasp it. And then the other part of it is, I guess, has anybody read about what happened in Nuremberg, or what happened when Yamashita stood trial, and what happened to Tojo, and then how these people tried to do this, and then these guys come out with a video and they telling CIA agents, if there's ever anybody that walked, as my grandma would say, God's green earth, that you think you can tell what to, well, looking at what the CIA has done in terms of our nation, and I'm one of the guys that believes that they had a couple of the boys involved in the murder of John Kennedy, the CIA. So get ready. It's going to be 60 today, and then tomorrow it drops out down to 23 degrees tonight, and maybe snow tomorrow. 31 will be the high. 17 Saturday night. And Sunday it's going to be cloudy and 28. So 303-696-1971. Lines are wide open. And it is one of those catch can. Have at it. I want to hear what you think. But, man, the Nuremberg trials, and they set the precedent. They were the guidelines. And now these guys are flubbing around and trying to take something that was so significant and then try to hedge it. And they should be ashamed. So it is your turn. 303-696-1971. It's Black Friday. I'm Peter Boyles. This is 710 KNUS. Morning, everyone. 710 KNUS Denver's Talk Station. I'm Peter Boyles. Get to do the show today for the fellows. And then I come back tomorrow morning, and I do it at 9 o'clock after Johnny C. Friday morning, November 28th, Black Friday, 60 today. It runs up, and then boom, it drops like a rock. Snow coming in, 31 and 17. And let's go to a name. We got a name. We'll throw it up on the board. And Marcus, all right? We go to line one. This is Marcus. Lines are lighting up, 710 KNUS. Marcus, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm really well.
Yeah, the way I understand it is international law is no good in the U.S. Remember when they wanted to make Putin a war criminal? Him and Donald Trump got together? That's unusual.
But the notion of the guidelines, if you would, for determining what constitutes a war crime, most of it is seated in 46 and 47 out of Nuremberg, and claiming, and this is with American judges, an American tribe, not an allied tribunal, but American judges, that if a person said, I was following orders, it wasn't a determinant, it wasn't a defense. You couldn't say it. And that was what they tried. They, in essence, and I'm paraphrasing, it was not acceptable to say I was just following my superior's orders. And so it set that I don't want to say guideline, but it's etched in stone. If they tell you to do that, you don't have to do it if you, and this is the hard part, if you determine that it's something that's illegal. Now, determine that.
That's a hard decision to make with the UMCJ.
But it changed. That changed. I mentioned probably too many times about having a shirt-tailed relationship with John McCain, and McCain was one of the inputters in how that changed. And McCain were at iHeart or Clear Channel then. And we're sitting in the boardroom together having sandwiches, and I just thought the guy hung the moon. And he said, you will tell them, because he had been tortured, and he said, you will tell them what they want to hear, not the truth, but what they want to hear. And that was true with the lies of Bush and Cheney when they kidnapped people off the streets, and the black gangs got them, and they got that idiot from the French, the guy they called Curveball. And they told Bush and Cheney and the American CIA what they wanted to hear, not the truth, but what they wanted to hear. And Bush and Cheney then took those lies and did what they did.
I'll be done.
No, it's true.
So I believe you. So does international law really, does it involve the United States in any way?
Sure. Ask Albert Speer. I mean, Nuremberg there were many sets of trials in Europe, but the principal trials were in a place called Nuremberg, and they took the Nazis and they put them on trial, and they put them on trial for human rights violations, and there was something that came out of it called the Nuremberg defense, and I've read a bunch about it, and it's the lawful orders had become this defense for many of the Nazis. And they said, I was just doing what I was ordered to do. Now that this group has dropped this video, and they've done this they aimed it at Donald Trump, but the response that I heard was, I thought it was way out of line. It's, and again, a lot of it's on talk radio and on social media. And I think, read something. Read the intent of what these people meant. And there are some brilliant legal minds. I want to go see that movie about Nuremberg that I guess focuses on Hermann Goering, but it was the defense of the defendants, if you would, in Nuremberg was, I was following orders. I did what I was told to do. I listen to people talk about it. No, it doesn't work that way. And it's It is now what it is. Are you old enough to remember when Jack Kennedy was killed?
Yeah, I was a little kid back then.
What do you think? And I wrote this down. And I, first of all, appreciate you calling the show.
Yeah.
What is the significance of, this spiritual, cultural, social overview? What did his murder then mean to this country?
To look at it, I've never seen nothing like it. It affected everybody. I don't care what political party you belong to. It's just like the young guy that got shot, Charlie.
Charlie
That
Kirk.
kinda-
I believe that.
yeah.
Yes, that's very good.
And so that's what I looked at it. But I always thought LBJ had something to do with it because he didn't like Kennedy.
Well, a lot of people thought, but it's a quagmire, and I've ventured into it probably too many times, but trying to look for some sort of an answer, and there isn't one. You can't find it. But and this is the part that's like dealing with Bush and Cheney. What they say clearly is a total lie. So what's the truth? And so what the Warren report said was a total lie. So what's the real truth? And that's, when you start to think in a logical manner, you got to come up with that conclusion. So they're lying. We know they're lying. We can prove they're lying. So what's the truth?
We're never going to know.
I don't think so either. And every once in a while, some president says, "I'll show you all the docs." How do you know? I'm skeptical. Yeah.
It's like Epstein. That's never going to happen.
Oh. Yeah, see, and I'm one of those guys that thinks just maybe. Here's a question. This is legit. How many Saudi princes do you think went to the island?
Oh, I bet you every one of them.
There's a lot of them. Truly. Do not kid yourself. And what I really liked was, and I'm listening to this on, again, news outlets, Alan Dershowitz was Epstein's lawyer. He went to the island. What do you think Alan Dershowitz, and they're using Dershowitz, as, the gospel. Dershowitz says that he was Epstein's lawyer, for God's sake. Maybe it's just me.
They call it client privileged information.
Oh yeah. No, of course he knew. Come on.
Oh heck yeah.
And plus he's kind of he is a pretty underhanded character. But when they use Alan Dershowitz as the defender, come on.
Yeah.
He was Jeffrey's mouthpiece.
That's true.
No, he was. And you think about these guys. I don't know. So give me a conclusion and then we'll take a break. Your conclusions.
When there's something you want to find out from the government, you're never going to get the true answer, Peter. I really believe
you
that.
get lied to, sure. Isn't there a moment where you go, I'm sick and tired of being lied to?
Yeah.
Yeah. It really is.
But we're always interested to hear the new lie.
Well, yeah. From a lie comes a lie. And
yeah.
What was the great lie? One of the great line from prosecuting attorneys, and they go, "Lie on one, then you're once you lie on one, you're done." And
that's it.
And these people have lied to you. To your face, they've lied to you.
But we're used to it. We just accept it.
Thanks. All right, we're coming back. Lines are open, 303-696-1971.